Okay, so exercise 16. So I'm going to add one exercise here, and this is 16. And I wanted to do this one because it will emphasize and use all of the rules of perspective. Rule number 1, rule number 2, rule number 3, and 4. But I wanted to make sure you see that and can demonstrate that and work along with me as we go further and deeper into our lesson. So I think it's really important that we do more. This one's going to be a 2-point perspective house, and the inclines and declines of a roof are great places to use the rules of perspective number 3 and number 4. Remember, rule number 3 is incline, rule number 4 is decline. They're really one and the same thing, but we can utilize them a little bit differently. Okay, so let's get started. Let's throw out our eye line first, horizon line and eye line, which will be in 1 and 2 point perspective. So they'll be the same. I'm going to throw out a little bit higher than center on my paper here. So about right there feels pretty good. And I'll continue to go all the way over here. And we're going to make a house that's generic, roughly, kind of maybe a little bit more on the horizontal, so a little bit more like Frank Lloyd Wright, sort of, kind of, just to kind of get a feel for that. So I'm going to come all the way across now and find my center of vision. So I'm at 24 inches total, so half of that is 12. So we'll go ahead and put that right in the middle again, so you can see that. There's our center of vision, and we'll go ahead and bring that up and down. This assignment will be a little bit easier on the scaling. It won't be as much. It's just about showing you rule number 1, 2, 3, and 4 all together. So I'm going to bring down this all through here, and we're going to have I'm going to bring down a station point. Let me measure how far down I want that station point. We're going to be doing this, by the way. Here's my notes for our assignment. Let me make sure I get the station point in a good position. So about 6.5 inches down. So I'm going to just measure 6.5 inches down in my drawing too, so we can recreate that one, but a little bit nicer. And that's where I'm going to put my station point, right in through there. Now I'm going to shorthand it. I'm not going to put all the little figure there. I'm just going to put, well, there's the dot. It's SP. We can get a little shorthand going and make this go a little faster. Again, we just want to make us aware that it's there. So cone of vision, remember, at 30 degrees. 60, 30, 90, let's use our 30-degree cone. Let's just throw it out there. I'm just going to put a little mark here, okay, and a little mark on the other side, just to show myself where the cone is, so I can be aware of it there and there. Okay, so there's our cone. So we have our entire setup. We have our center of vision, right? That's 1, our eye line, horizon line, eye line, really, 2. Station point here, I put it about 6.5 inches down, and then our cone of vision was right in through here. Now I'm going to put a little ground line here across, going through, whoops, cut that, cut. Okay, 5. Here we go. Better. Station point. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so let's now find our front plane of our house. It's going to be in the sky plane and ground plane, so we can get our left vanishing point. Then we can bring it back through our station point at 90 degrees to find our right vanishing point. So let's do that first. So I'm going to make a vertical here, about be slightly off center, which is what I want, and about right, let's say about right here looks good, all the way up to about right there. So this is going to be the base of our house, right in through there. Now this is an arbitrary aspect here. Now I want to play with the angle that I want for my left finishing point. And I'm going to play off about right here. I'm going to put it about right there. So I'm going to go back to now left finishing point. I'm going to label it LVP, right? So you can see that. And I'm going to draw from the top of our, what's going to be our box, 2-point box, back to the left finishing point there. So I have that. Okay, now what I need is I need a line coming from the left vanishing point through our station point, which is us here. Okay, that's the first order of business. Right in through there. Now I need 90 degrees coming out of our station point back to the eye line, or horizon line in this case. That's going to give me my right vanishing point. So I line up my triangle along the left vanishing point diminishment or line to my station point, out from it at 90 degrees, and right there where it touches is my right vanishing point, right in through there. RVP for our house, right in through there, okay? So remember, this was at 90 degrees, right through there from our station point. So very important to remember that, to get the right setup for your 2-point. Okay, so let's find the diminishment now from the house back to the right vanishing point, back to the right vanishing point here. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to play, because we're going to build a foundation to our house too, where it sits in the ground a little bit. I'll show you to do that as well. So we're going to make it a little bit longer on the left and a little bit shorter on the right for aesthetic, just looks, aesthetics. So we're going to make the house about this long. Looks pretty good. There, through there. And then we're going to make the house about this long over on this side, about right here. So we'll get a little bit more long and then shorter on the other side and through here. Now, let's go ahead and go back and finish out our house inside out too, so we can see that. So back to the left vanishing point here, back to the right vanishing point here. So if you've gone through all the lessons, this should be pretty easy for you. Right in through there. Now back to the left vanishing point here, and back to the right vanishing point up here where they meet. Bingo, if we're pretty accurate, they should meet up, and they look like they do pretty well. Bring up my T-square and my triangle, and there we go. Okay. So we've got that so far, pretty good. I like what we've got now so far. Now, what we want to do is start to establish this part of in our notes to make a better drawing, final drawing, is this angle, these angles, how do we get them with our vanishing point? So let's figure that out first. So that's something we want to do first. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the center of our plane here, our front plane of our house, and we want to do that by our crossing X. So I'm going to abbreviate just a little bit there, okay, and just a little bit here, right in through there, okay. Where they meet, that's the center, okay, right in through there, bingo. Okay, so I can bring it up. I'm going to bring it up higher, and there's a reason why. That's the center going up out from the house. We're going to need that to help with our pitch. Now, rule number 3 and rule number 4 perspective, inclines and declines, will be found along the same vertical plane or line as rule number 1 and 2. In this case, our right vanishing point. We could do it from our left. It's a little bit easier for the right. So what I'm going to do is draw a straight line up and down through the right vanishing point. Okay, just all the way through to the top and bottom of the page, like so. So we can find our auxiliary vanishing point for our roof. And if we want to do stairs later on, which is another lesson, we'll use that as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my triangle. And here's what I'm thinking. Let me pull out the camera just a little bit further so you can clearly see. Make sure we've got a little space. There we go. Okay. So you can clearly and cleanly see what I'm looking for. So I'm arranging my triangle in a way that's going to give me the pitch of the roof. Well, how do I know where to go to? What about this back angle? What vanishing point do I want to go to? So what I'm doing is I'm just looking at an aesthetic angle that I like. I might keep it lower, more horizontal. And so I'm going to come up here and place a dot right there, and that's going to be, I'll put VP2 right there, okay? And so I can go from the corner of my house to VP2 all the way through, and I'm going to go further for the slope, okay? That's going to give me, let me go real far so you can see that, but I'm going to be careful so you don't get confused about where this line's in. I'm just drawing this line out further for now, right in through here. It's got to go through there. Same thing through this point all the way back to vanishing point 2 as well. So we'll go through there, all the way through, up and over, okay? Now, we've got, this is the top of where it meets our center. That's where the slope ends, right there. So I'll put a dot there. Then we'll go back to the left vanishing point for our true diminishment, okay, right through there. And we'll go and we'll stop where it meets the other. Okay, let me darken this in a little bit so you'll see it. This plane on the house, because we're going to make it longer in a minute. Okay, we're going to do some interesting things with it. Just want you to see that through there. So I've got to make it longer. So this is going to change a little bit. We're going to go out a little bit further, but I did want you to see that. Now we've got a slope here, a plane that's attached to this one of the house, but now it's got an auxiliary vanishing point. Now we want to go out further, both this way and this way down, so it covers, gives a little bit of covering and protection from the elements when we walk outside from the home. So we'll go a little bit further this way and this way, okay? And also out this way as well. We want to pull it out further. Now we've got a lot of this distance already through there. So I'm going to end this now. We're going to go a little bit higher later on, and we'll do that with, we'll bring the other one out. It'll be nice a little bit further in perspective too as well. Okay, so let's do the same thing on the other side now. Let's go and find where the other vanishing point is. We know how to find it pretty quickly. Why? Because we already have a point here and a point here to attach to. So here and here, boom, we go down to, down, our vanishing point right there becomes our decline vanishing point right here, and I'll call that VP3. That's our D, right? Incline up here, and D for diminishment or decline there. Incline up, decline down below. All right. So now what I want to do is I know this might have been confusing. I want to go out a little bit further now. So I want to put a dot here to take this out further, and I want to take this out further in the back. And so we're going to redo this again from the vanishing point to make sure we have a good overhang for our roof right in through here now. So there. Okay, and now we're going to do it back here for our decline as well. So we have plenty of that going on. Just hang with me with the lines. This will make sense. Just a moment. We'll go a little extra here as well. Okay. All right, so now I will tighten this, darken this up a little bit so you can see that to there. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lighten this up right in through here so it doesn't bother you as much for now. I'll just kind of lighten it up so you can still see it, but just lightens it up. Okay. So now we want to end how much of an overhang off of the boxy part of our house right in through is. I'm going to overhang it about this much. Looks pretty good right there. Okay, so from there I'll go right back to the left finishing point through here, and where that meets up with the other overhang on the other side, which is right there. So let's darken that in nice and clean so you can see that. And this one's going back to our auxiliary, to here to there, and they meet up right there. Okay, so we have that there to there. So now we have an accurate auxiliary. Now let's go ahead and put a thickness on this roof right in through here. And for the thickness part, we'll go back to our decline vanishing point, rule number 3, just a little bit for our thickness, about right there. Looks good in our generic home and through there. This one, the thickness here will come straight down right in through here. So I'll draw vertical down right through here. Now where they meet up, that goes through our incline vanishing point, right through there. So I line that up right through, and that will give us our first roof thickness right in through there, okay? Now we need the same thing coming down to our decline vanishing point from the center there all the way down and over, okay? Now we've got a little bit of a problem. What about, how do I know where to end this off? Well, we're going to take these points here and go back to our vanishing point, our right vanishing point to find those. All right, so we'll bring those back to the RVP here and there. So now we know where to cut them off, and where they meet up here is where they'll cut off. So I've got to come down a little bit further through there and also through there. Fantastic. Now where these 2 points end right here, that's where the angle goes back. Where do I go? Right back to our incline vanishing point for that little angle of our thickness of our roof. Right there, and there we go. So let me darken that in for you so you can see that. There and there. So that was pretty fast, right in through there. All right, so now we're putting on the roof of our home. And let me see if I can come in a little bit closer so we can always get clear vision through there. I think that will help a little bit. Okay, I'm going to sharpen my mechanical pencil. Take a moment if you need to catch up or stop the film. You're in control of that. We've got to put the rest of the thickness on our house here. Remember, keep your drawing ultra light. I'm having to draw much darker so that you can see it come up. Okay, so we need the thickness, so let's go back to, we'll go back to the right vanishing point from here, back to the LVP, left vanishing point to there. And then we find the little angle of our thickness here back to our decline vanishing point, and it's right there, lining up your ruler and then just drawing through that line there. So there we are. Okay, this is probably some of the hardest part right through there. Once we've got that, that little overhang was probably tough. Now we've got to go back here from this point back to the left vanishing point too. Make sure we do that right to there. Okay, now we're really doing well right through there. And so what that gives you is this little overhang here. And we could have made it even wider. So when you walk out, the door is going to be here. And when you walk outside, you're not getting, you know, soaked from the rain. There. And we'll go there, a little thicker there. Okay. All right. So we have that. Now, we're going to start talking a little bit about scaling now. So I want to do some scaling. So I'm going to take from, and I'm going to make this a blue line so you can see it, from the bottom here of our house. This is our measuring line, ground line measuring line, and the house is going to be buried a little bit into, we're going to make it a foundation slab. Okay, and we're going to put some scaling on here. So I'm going to say that this is going to be very unscientific, so I'm kind of going off my notes a little bit. I almost want to say that an inch in my drawing now is going to be about 5 feet. Now we're going to start with the corner. We're going to put the scaling on the corner of the house because we have a nice true vertical that's closest to us. And so I'll do that in red too to help so you can see that. So we got a little color going on. There we go, up a little bit. This will help. So I'm just going to say that that foundation is going to be about 4 or 5 feet. First I'm going to say 5 here. So that's 5. That's a mark right there. What is that on my ruler? So there's a couple ways again you can do that. That's about an inch. Okay, I'm going to buy that and go with that. There's 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, 4.5, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. Each one of these inches now, though, is 5 feet. So I'm going to put that over here. So I'm going to put 1 inch equals 5 feet. So our elevation then is 5, 10, 15, 20, about 22 feet at distance. So we're 22 feet. Our eye is locked in 22 feet. So we're up pretty high looking down on this composition. Okay, so that's 5, that's 10, right? 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45, right in through there in space. So now we have some scaling that we can go back to the left or to the right vanishing point. And we can also scale to the left or to the right on our ground line if we need it. We may not, I don't really have it in my notes. I'm going to do it anyway, so we have it. I'll do left and right. You should know how to do this. I'm just doing 1-inch marks here. And remember that each one of those is 5 feet. So that's, we'll say 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. That's 30 feet across there. Okay. It's just going to be a pretty large hum, which would be great. Okay, so let's bring up the foundation at 5 feet, and then we can now go back to the left vanishing point here, right? And now also to the right vanishing point. So this is going to be buried in the ground, this part of our home. That's going to be buried in the ground, that part of our foundation in through there. That's important to know. So I'm going to make it a little bit darker through here so you can really see it. So that's the foundation of what we have here. A little bit darker. And so the true ground will come out of 5 feet above 0. Okay, so now we can build, let's build a little concrete slab. I could have built stairs, but I want to wait and do stairs at a separate time. I think that's important. I think it's important to show you incline and decline and auxiliary perspective. Excuse me, I had to get a drink there. With stairs and make it a whole separate series of lessons. I think that'll be really instructive. Okay, so we're going to bring out this slab a little bit, and I'm just going to start throwing some lines out because I want to do as much measuring. So we'll throw some lines out here from the left vanishing point here, and it'll touch the house on the other side here. Remember, this is going to be the ground in through here, okay? So we have that, and then we can build up from that. So let's say maybe it's going to come out, I don't know, about maybe 7, 8, 9, let's say 5-ish, about right in through here. So let's go back to the right vanishing point from a mark I made here. Let's go back to the RVP there, okay? Right in through there. Now we're going to bring, instead of going down, we're going to actually go up. Okay, because we don't want that slab. I don't want all that slab going in the ground. I could. I guess part of that foundation could go next to the. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just go down. Okay, so long story short, let's pull this down just visually about that far in terms of its thickness right there, and then we'll go back to the left vanishing point to finish it out. It's pretty easy, right through here and over. Okay. And let's go to the right vanishing point here, RVP, right there and over, okay? And then where this corner, we need to bring this corner down, you'll see that right there. Okay, so now we have a concrete slab. All right, so I'm gonna lighten up parts of my drawing a little bit so you can continue to be able to see what's going on and not get too confused. And I want you to see it, but I want to lighten it up. So I'm taking my kneaded eraser and I'm kind of dabbing at it. So you can see that. I've got that through there. And you can see all this a little bit. Okay, so we have that. So what I'm going to do now is we kind of have the center here where we could put a door, right? And so That's the center. I'm gonna bisect this concrete slab too, because that's like the center here. This is like our decking, our concrete deck. And remember, this part goes into the ground, so the only part that's exposed is kind of the lip of the slab and through here. So doors are about probably 7 feet tall, maybe 8 feet. We'll just make one 8. So we know that this is 5 and this is 10 feet across. So if we go 5, half of 5 is 2.5, that's 7.5. About 8 feet, right, is about right there. So I'm going to put a little mark and show you my thinking. That's 8 feet from here. 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're going to go take that line back to the right vanishing point, just across the house. That's good enough. Okay. Then I'm going to guesstimate. So that's how tall, that's where our door is going to be, right in through here in the middle. Okay. I'm going to guesstimate on this side of what I want. Maybe right in through there. That's where I want. Now I'm going to put a straight line up to the height. But this is the center of our door, so I now need to get the other side of the door in perspective. How do I know how to do that? How do I know how to get this equal space over here? Well, we've done that already. Watch. Here's where it comes in handy. So we make a crossing X there, right, and there. There's our center. Now we'll take that center back to the right vanishing point. This is a way to measure equal spaces, right? Remember that? We've done that in one of our lessons. Right through there. Now I bring from this line. Let me make sure I get this camera nice and close in so we can start to see this further. That should help. Now from this corner right through this point will give us the same equal distance here right to there. So watch. To there, through there, right there, and there. Bingo. Back over there, there's our door. So where this touches, this comes up and we'll make a nice big fat kind of door right in through there. There we go. Now it's the same length in perspective on either side, and now we have one door right there and right there. Okay, so now we'll put a little something around the door a little bit to make it cool, and I'll just guesstimate on this side. Now we don't have to go that crazy through all of it there, just to give a little something through there. Okay. All right, so we have that going through there. And then we'll give it maybe some cool sort of modern, this is sort of Frank Lloyd Wright maybe window, so they're really on the horizontal, so we'll do maybe a horizontal design where it might look like this. We'll put little slats. I'll just kind of sketch these in here. And then we'll keep that same length all the way down by just putting a long line down here and down there. And then I'll just use my ruler as a guide and put more kind of slats like that. We'll color them in. Look, little openings to the house or to the door here. We'll do this. And one more all the way down. And there. So those are windows coming through. Okay. Maybe a little doorknob. Ours is on this side. Okay, so we have that. So now we also can get a human scale. So this is 5 feet. If we're going to put a 6-foot figure, that figure might be here. That'll be handy for later on, I think, too, as well. Okay, so let's do some more work on the top of the home. Let's put a chimney on there next. So let me pull out of our composition a little bit. Right there should be plenty. And let's put a chimney in a little bit further off a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is we have to have the chimney go into the house a little bit. And so I'm going to start with a vertical line up. And we'll put it out to maybe about right here. So it goes inside the home, right? So I'm going to put the height about right here, looks reasonable. Okay. Then we're going to go back to the left vanishing point, enough to where I need. I'll overdraw a little bit in through here, back to the left vanishing point. Then I'm going to cut off the length that I want of the plane of our chimney, about right here. So it's going to be a longer one, maybe about right there, and pretty big. So it'll be a massive chimney there. And then for the other plane, we'll go now back to the right vanishing point, down, out and over. About that much, I think will be good. Now you could do inside the home too if you want. It would look something like that, if you will. Then we'll come down. Okay. Make sure it's on camera. Let me go up a little higher and make sure to get all that in. There we go. Okay. So let's bring this up and we'll stop where it meets the other part of the house. We can't see through that. Okay. Now we have to show that the house is, the roof is cutting into the chimney. I'm gonna erase these back a little bit in through here too as well. So what I'm talking about is this point right here. It's got to be the same angle as here up to there, because the chimney goes in through the roof, and of course it's weatherproof through that. So from this point we have to go through the incline vanishing point, or auxiliary vanishing point, and that will meet us about right in through there and downward. Okay, now I don't like this. This needs to be a little bit thicker. This needs to be thicker than that. So since I just eyeballed that, that was incorrect. So I'm going to have to make, if you did yours better than mine, that was great. I need to make this point, this angle here coming out a little bit longer than here. So that will be 2. And of course I break my pencil. And we'll just keep rolling. No big deal. Everybody breaks their pencil, right? Break it all the time. There we go. Keep it real, right? Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is the vertical of the chimney needs to go a little bit further than this angle where it stops and meets the house. So let me clean that up a little bit better so you can see that there. Okay, so we'll come back now. I'll take this angle back to the right vanishing point a little bit more, and then right there. What I'm trying to get the look of is that it's slender on this side and a lot more long on that side. I still have it, but not as much as I wanted it. Okay. So I'll tighten this up and through here. Okay. Alright, so we have that coming down. Now let's put a little bit, it's going to be a 2-story house, so let's put a little bit also of a chimney crown on top of it. And we'll use our right and left finishing points for that. So I'll come out here, make this a little bit longer in through there. And then I'll bring up, this is good enough right in through here, I'll bring up a vertical right there. I'll come back to the left finishing point through there. And I'll bring up a vertical on the back end, okay? Then from this back corner, this goes back to my right vanishing point from that corner right there to get our crown over there. Then I can kind of clean it up and erase that out a little bit, okay? Then I will, let's see, go to our right vanishing point or crown here. And here, there we go. And I'll cut this off about right there. Looks totally fine. There we go, right there. Maybe a little bit longer, and then that goes back to our left finishing point. And of course that needed to be longer, of course. All right, so let me erase that out. Sorry about that. So what I mean is this needs to go longer. If you did it with me, sorry. Just adjust really quickly. It's no big deal. Right in through there. And we need to go at least long enough. If I drew all this through, this would all line up together. But since we're not, we're shorthanding it, which is fine with me. We don't get that privilege right through there. Okay, so now we have our crown, and then we can bring up some chimney flues, the part where the smoke comes up and all the way through, and I'll just bring some lines up to show you. We can bring one here for the shorter one, and I can use my left finishing point since it's on that plane just to control the height of all 3 of them through there, okay? And so the other one would come about right, maybe right through here, and then the other one would be maybe over here, and it'd be a little taller. And then we can make those into cylinders. Watch, I'll show you. So we can come over and say, okay, here's a flue here, like so, and then another flue here like so, and then one that's much closer, and then over and down. And I made them a little bit thicker as they get closer to us a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to put that vertical on this one. There we go. All right, now that later on that can be brick or it can be stone, like Frank Lloyd Wright used, etc. and so on. Okay, so let's have a little bit of fun, more fun now, and hopefully you're having fun. And let's start to put in more windows and structural, kinds of units and things and so on. So I'm going to put some just horizontals just for design effect. I'm going to put one kind of right, maybe a little bit higher than the horizon line, about right there from the right vanishing point out, which is I'm going for there, and a little bit lower than the horizon line, so we can play off that. There's a horizontal. That's just for effect. We'll use that right in through there. Okay, now let's put some, let's do another one. Let's do a couple up here. Let's put a horizontal from the right vanishing point here and make its thickness like so, and then let's put another one here like so. Lots of horizontals. We should give it a little bit sleeker look. That's what I did there, right to the right vanishing point. Have that. Okay, so now let's go on to and put some windows here. Let's put 3 windows up and through here, but let's talk about spacing. So the first thing I want to do is find an equal place of measurement we want our windows. So let's make our windows, let's start from our right vanishing point. I'm going to start along here. Okay, and then we're going to work through the house a little bit. We'll use this line too, right through there. We'll line up with the corner of our house. Now let's bring in the spacing a little bit, or we can actually what we'll do is we'll make equal spaces with our crossing X. So let's do that first. Let's find our center here of this space right through there. Bear with me there, and our crossing X through that plane there. So what we're going to do is we'll find that center, and we'll come all the way through through our right vanishing point. Now we're going to find equal spaces of distance to give us some measuring points to put windows in. So we'll start from the edge, and I'll make a mark maybe right here will be a measuring distance. Okay, so we'll put that construction line through. How do we recreate this space over here? Easily. Here's our center that we go through, right through there. Okay, we could do that by doing a crossing X. Should be the same, just to show you there and there. It's the same. Okay, we got it, just to prove that. Now we'll come through this point, the top of the space, down and over, right to our baseline there, and that's where we go up. So what we're doing is, and we're not creating windows yet, we're creating equal spaces to put in place measurements along to get an aesthetic guide of where we want to put our windows. Okay, how do you do that in depth? So this is another lesson we learned in our prior videos. So we go through here and over, and that brings us 3 spaces. It may take 5 to get to the center. Looks like from here, then you know how to do this, from here over to here through. There's 4 spaces. Okay. And oops, line that up. There we go. And then here through, and that gets us to the center of the home right there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. It's going to be 10 spaces all the way through. Okay. So now we can put a window. We'll skip 1 space, and we'll make the window a space here. Now we have to go through the house a little bit. We'll make it 1, 2 units tall or wide. There. Okay, so we skipped a unit for our measurement. These are equal measured units, and you could break them down even further for smaller windows. So we've got our first window here. Let me darken it in a little bit, and then we'll go back and we'll put more horizontal windows. We'll divide it further to make it look a little bit more Frank Lloyd Wright-esque through there. So that's the first window. So we have one space, then we use 2 for the windows, and we have 2. Let's find our other spatial units all the way through the rest. We know how to do this. We'll keep going. Cross over through the center, from this corner through the center over to there. Bring that vertical up. See, it gets a lot of line work. That's why you need to draw really lightly. Okay. From this corner through our center, here to here, right through there. There's another space. We have 3 more to go. Hang in there, right through there. Then from this corner over to the center, right through there. Okay. 2 more to go. This corner, right through our center, right through there. Bring up our vertical and our last one. Ah, we're almost there. Now we can get equal measurements across there in depth. In depth, that's the key, is to now have in depth. Okay, so now we have from our center 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. So we need to go in 1. Okay, we went in 1. Okay, right there. And our window is 2 units wide, 1, 2. And now we have 2 units. Now we could put a third, because we could have one space. In one space, it gives us another 2 unit wide window. So let's do that too here. So we can actually put 3 now, which will bring a lot of light into the home. There might be 3 rooms up there, 2 rooms, I'm not sure. Okay, so let me color those in really quickly so you can see them. And now we have equally spaced windows in depth, and we did no measuring at all. We used one of our lessons from our perspective learning. Okay, now let's take, and I'm going to make these very horizontal. I'm just going to make these aesthetically look like they're even, so we can go along pretty quickly. So I'm going to make slats that are more horizontal. If you've ever been to Frank Lloyd Wright homes, you know that they're very, very horizontally integrated. Okay, there, and then we'll put another here, another there, and then one more down and through here. It gives it a little sleeker, more modern look, even though we have an A-frame type home. Okay, here we go. Equal space units. So the spacing between here and here is the same as here and here. Pretty powerful stuff, I think, in perspective. Really amazing ways to do that without even measuring. Okay, let's put a couple of windows here, and let's make those a little bit not symmetrical, just to give a little bit more nuance to the home. So I'm going to darken this plane over here in so you'll see it further. Okay, I think I'm done over here, so I'm gonna just slightly shade this in, give a little bit of value, this overhang, so you can see it nice and cleanly what we've done. Right in through there for now. Okay, so you can start to see that even better. So we have our home there. All right, so let's put 2 more windows in the front part of our home. Now we could find the center if we wanted, or I can just start to make it up a little bit. And I think I will a little bit. I'll keep a little space from the door, maybe about right in through here, maybe make it this high, nice tall window. Okay, and then I'll go back to the right vanishing points here and up and over. I want a little space with the corner of the houses. Or Frank Lloyd Wright would just go ahead and continue windows through the corner, which is kind of cool. We might do that on this one actually. Let's just do that. Let's bring the window all the way over to the corner of the building here and here. He was famous for that, to let the 90-degree corner turn and become a window on the other side. So we'll continue that in a moment over here. Let's work on this one over through here. Okay, so let's put another window over here, but I'll make it smaller and fit in a little bit more. Maybe we'll make it, oh, I don't know, this tall maybe, a little bit different, just for variety. And we'll put it in, well in within the confines of the home there, so we know we have it. So what I'm doing now is totally aesthetic. It's not measured, I'm just riffing off of what we're doing with the window. I'm going to bring this window down to a little bit to there and over. There we go. Maybe right in through there and there. Okay. So we have some asymmetry here, which is what I want. Now let's bring over some slats of our windows, just using the right vanishing point here and here. Okay. Just bringing down my ruler there, and then maybe one more. So there we go. Just to keep that horizontal motion going. All right, so now we have that. So let's start bringing over now the height of this window. So how tall are these windows? They're pretty big. So here's our 5-foot marker. If we bring it up, it's almost the same as here. So it's about 5. I'd say they're about 10, a little over 10 feet. Probably, that's an inch is 5, 5.5. That's 10. That's 5, 7. And then another 2.5 is 9.5, 11. So they're about almost 15 feet total. So that's a nice big window. We'll put maybe a human figure later on the end to give it even more scale. Now we're gonna, where these lines touch, right here on our scale line, that's the corner of our home. We've got to go back now to the left finishing point over here. So go back to the left finishing point, and we're gonna use this line as a window line. We're gonna put a wall of windows on this side here. And we're going to put a wall of windows on this side over here. Famous for bringing nature into the home with lots of windows there. There we go. Okay, so we have that right in through there. Okay, so since this is going to be a corner of windows in through here, we'll do a little bit something maybe, well, maybe not. What do I want to do? Now I'm judging what I want to do with you. All right, so first of all, I want to sharpen my pencil. Let me do that. Okay. And then we're going to put some different styled windows across here for visual effects. So we're going to find our center first of this plane. There, we'll do a crossing X. So from here over to right there, that top line. Remember, this second line is where the foundation ends and where the ground is. So keep that in mind. So the home, we see this part of the home here, right? But the rest of it is in the ground, in the foundation. There's our true center. Look how far over that is. That's nice and deep. There's our true center. Okay. Then I'm going to find the center of this plane there and there. Okay, so there's the true center of that plane. That's the one I wanted, because we're going to make that something a little bit different. So we're going to put window panes about, we'll put them about this length here and here over. How do I get that over there? Easy. So from the right vanishing point, I'll just transfer whoop, to there, there's one, right? And then we'll come over with, whoop, there's another one. We'll come over with, whoop, there's another one. And then we'll come over with, whoops, let me get down a little bit. Well, we'll make this a little bit smaller. Make sure I got, oopsie, I didn't line up, I got ahead of myself. I didn't line up on the vanishing point. So I make mistakes too. I get a little bit ahead and I get excited. So let me go back. Make sure you're lined up. There's a good learning tool for everybody. Make sure you're lined up on the vanishing point, right vanishing point out. I got a little bit off there. So we'll bring that measurement over, and I made the mistake right here. So that measurement, so look at the difference there. Woo, big difference. Hello. Right through there, bring that over, and we'll just keep on going and add a few more kind of windows right in through there, and then one more. Just I'll eyeball it right through there. Okay, so now let's bring all these over, but we're going to stop. I want to do something different here. We're going to stop right where I darken that in, there and there. I might not do anything there. That could be stone or something, just to give it a little bit of asymmetry. So now let's bring over these are windows, by the way. Here, all the way through there. through there, okay, through to there. I'm stopping at that quarter section of the home, right through there, right through there, and one more right through there. There we go. Okay. Now these might have where these windows are, and I'm going to strengthen in this corner so we can really see it here. There we go. That's it. We can really see that corner now. That's important to see. So these windows might have verticals that bisect for window panes, so they're not quite so long. I think it'd be hard to keep a window this long without it just, you know, breaking apart. So how do we do that? If we want to make a few window panes, we might leave those the same length. Well, we find our center again, in through here of this section, in through here, right? Yeah, we got that there. There's our center, right through here. So there might be a pane there. And then I'm just going to eyeball it. You could continue to find a crossing X and find the centers there, but I think I'm going to bring it to about right there. And I'll make them a little bit darker. You can see those a little bit better. There we go. Okay. And I think I'll make this area over here just plain. Maybe it's just a bigger type window or a different window, or it could be just the thickness of the home, or it could be rock or something in through there. So let's bring this horizontal now. Let's bring it over, or we could put smaller windows in through here. You could do that as well. Sometimes he likes to do that. I'm not a Frank Lloyd Wright expert, nor am I an architect. I'm just we're doing a simple creative assignment. Keep that in mind. I tell you what, let's don't do anything here. Just leave that. How about we leave that? Because we're almost there. So I think you've got a good sense of basics for the home now, and you could add all kinds of interesting elements to that. Now, what if we wanted to create maybe a little bit of a fence over in through here, going back to the left vanishing point, and we wanted to keep those fences, those poles, equal? Well, you know how to do that already. We've already done that. So let's do that. Let's recreate that again. So let's put our first fence post about right here, okay? And let's bring it up. So we've got 0 here, so we're going to be a little bit up and over. So this is 5 feet up. About right here seems reasonable. So of course, this is the foundation of our home. So I'm going to put this fence post here, okay? Right in through there. That's where it hits the ground, right in through there. So let's put a whole series of fence posts of equal space and distance apart. All right, so now we'll use rule number 1 of perspective, back to a vanishing point, and 2 on the horizon line, right? And how far apart do we want to make this? Well, this is our own design. Maybe we'll make them about this far apart. So we'll come up, okay, we'll make them again a cylinder right in through there, okay? Then we'll find their center between the two, here and here. Find that centering X, remember that? There we go, okay? And then from that center, back to the left vanishing point, through here, all the way through right. And then now we come through this point, through here, right in through there. Either line you want is fine, right in through there. There's our next pole. Come up. So I'm going to do these in just one line increments, so it makes it a little bit easier. So from this center, through here, through there. There's our next fence post, right there. Okay. Same thing here. Through our center right there, there's our next fence post. And up, and through. Let me get that. And up. And I'll do one more. And through here. And on over. Right in through there. Now we have equal spaced fence posts in our composition. Now I can make these a little bit thicker. Right. Maybe I can start to sketch a little bit. And of course, when you freehand later on, this becomes really nice and simple and easy, and you can hide all your construction work, and you can just put ticks and marks, and this becomes really nice and freehand. So now we have a little fence post there, and I could put a thickness through. Maybe the center is where the thicknesses of all these are, the thicknesses. Right through there. Maybe you want to make it there, and it becomes a little fence. And what about a little top and bottom? We'll raise it off the ground a little bit there, all the way through, and thickness. Okay, resharpen my pencil back to make the thicknesses on this fence here. And up at the top, it kind of runs with the very top, and we'll leave a little bit of space in between. There we go, and the same thing at the bottom. It gets to be a lot of lines in through there. There we go. Now we have a little fence over there as well. Okay, so some things I want to show you now. Let's talk a little bit about this. I'll do some simple shading so you can see some things, and we'll add some more detail. So where the ground is, we're on the ground, in the ground plane, and then right in through here where that concrete is, the ground kind of comes up, earth, dirt, grass, up to this concrete slab. Now some of this lip might be showing, and that would be fine, totally. And this comes out through here. Now over here, see where I'm toning in over the foundation? That foundation is deep now, it's in the ground about 5 feet. So if I tone over a little bit, that makes more sense. Right in through here. This line right here, where I'm pointing to, that's where the house is on the ground. So that's that wall of windows over on the other side. Of course, we have our little fence. Maybe they have horses they can attach to. It's a hitching post maybe. Who knows? This could be out a little bit in the country. So that's important to see.